Good evening, San Antonio. It's once again your favorite comedy duo, and we've been gone for a really long time, but you're gonna hear why. I'm the Holla Batgirl, Harley Quinn, and to my right is
the Adder Mad Hatter, Deke Rivers. And I just want to tell everybody, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being here again. But if you guys remember earlier on in the podcast that we did earlier, we had mentioned that our dog Snoopy had passed. And I'm sorry to say that we've yet lost another member of our team. Our mother, Jenny Lee, has passed away too. And so with that said, I'm going to let Harley take it now.
All right, Deacon. Well, before we actually get our show started, and Lord knows we got lots to talk about, I filled a notebook with jokes, quips, puns, and things that we are going to say today about the show, starting with Donald Trump. However, I would love for Deacon to give him the mission statement. Deacon, give us our mission statement.
I certainly will. It's fuck being normal. If you don't like us, too bad. God send us to piss the world off.
Thank you so much, Brother Deacon. So, let's get this started here because my notes are on fire.
Oh, and one more thing about Jenny Lee. We have some stuff to say about her, but we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to Jenny Lee in a minute because this ain't her part of the show. Have a seat up there in heaven, Mom. We'll get to you in a second. So, have you been seeing all this stuff about Donald Trump and he hates Mexicans and all this other kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you were listening to me during our business meeting yesterday, but let me start by quoting George Lopez, if I could, for 1 second. When me and Deacon say,
"Fuck that
puto!" Okay, so, let's begin. Who the fuck does Donald Trump think he is? I mean, seriously, he's not even married to an American citizen. His wife, Melania, I think is a German citizen. Can we seriously check her papers? Anyone, please? Like, seriously?
Yeah, he's over here dissing the Mexicans. No, wait a minute. Take a second to freaking check your closet first, you dumbass.
Okay, and secondly, he tells me he hates Mexicans, but honestly, let me find all the Mexicans who clean all his hotels and everything over there, because I know that if it were me, and I was working at his hotel, and I heard that he was making fun of me and my people, saying that he hated me and the Mexicans, I guarantee you we would all make him reenact the scene from The Help, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It's called The Terrible Awful. If you don't know, honey, read the book or watch the movie, because I'm just going to be like, that's how I feel about stupid fucking Donald Trump, who I'm now calling Dump Truck. And let me just say this, that I don't really give a shit what he has to say, but let's be honest here. He hates Mexicans so much, but let's shake his family tree, and I'll bet you some blacks and Mexicans are going to fall out of it. All right, moving right along.
Okay, so now I'm going to take the mic again, and I'm going to go off on something. As many of y'all may know, I'm a WWE fan through and through. I love WWE. I've talked about it. You know, I've given shout-outs to Sting, Chris Jericho, John Cena, everyone like that. Okay, but I'm going to address something, and I hope nobody's going to be offended by what I'm going to say, because let me address what I'm going to say by saying this. I love every single one of you. I'm not trying to be racist or hateful in the comments that I'm about to make. I just want you to know that first off. Okay, has anybody been hearing the news about Hulk Hogan, that he said the N-word or whatever? In some context, I don't know how he said it, okay, but I'm going to say this. You're going to trash him for saying the N-word when other superstars have said it. Vince McMahon has said it. I believe John Cena has said it. I believe Booker T has said it. Yet, they're still active in WWE, and Hulk Hogan's being trashed. Really? And another thing, let me say this. CM Punk goes through the crowd, and for those of you who don't know who CM Punk is, Google him, you'll find out. Okay? CM Punk goes through the crowd, talking shit to people, spitting in people's faces and whatever, and don't tell me that he's your freaking character, because that's BS. There's no excuse for that. You want to go spitting in people's faces, talking shit, acting like you're the straight edge superstar? Let me tell you one thing. If you're so straight edge, quit calling people homos and get rid of your tattoos. if you're freaking so straight edge, why is your body all marked up? Obviously, you don't read the Bible like you claim you do, stupid ass, because you would know your body's a temple. So remove your tattoos first, you straight edge wannabe.
Can I just be honest with you? I totally tuned you out when you said that. I'm sorry, Deacon. I didn't listen well because you told me about that earlier. And whatever you said, I completely agree with. And the spitting in the face, in people's face, that's freaking vile. That will turn me off for the rest of my life to that person, and I don't want nothing to do with them. And can I just throw in something really quick that we were talking about Donald Trump? I'm watching the news right now, and I just got word that NBC has officially fired Donald Trump. That's what you get, motherfucker. Try to run for president. So, let's talk about Jenny Lee for a second, our mother. So, the reason we've been gone for so long, it's been 3 months. Well, first off, life happened. I've been busy with work and things like that. And then, sadly, on June 15th of 2015, our mother, Jenny Lee, passed away. And
I was the one that found her, actually. So
Buddy and Deacon were the ones that found her, and so on and so on. So there was that to deal with. By the way, she was cremated. We got the ashes back on my birthday, June 23rd. It was surreal, to say the least. I kind of knew it was going to come because it was either that or we would have to put her in a nursing home because we just couldn't take care of her anymore. And I'm glad she's in a better place now and that she's happy or whatever. However,
here it comes.
Now she's going to hear me bitch her out like I always did or whatever because, you know, I've never, ever thought anything about my mom and my dad or when they were married or this, that, and the other because she said so much bad stuff about him throughout our childhood or whatever.
And it still sticks with me that I still have a little bit of resentment for it.
Yeah, and it sort of sticks with us that we have a little bit of resentment. However, now that we're seeing the other side of it, now that she's gone and we know how she was and how she acted, I kind of understand where my father was coming from and why he was the way he was, and it just pisses me off because I don't ever really think that she knew or understood that he loved her so much. And all the shit that she put him through, instigating the fights and treating him like shit, and then, of course, coming over here to San Antonio, as my father called it, chasing rainbows. Like, I don't understand. I don't really understand why she came here, knowing she would never be happy here, and stuff like that. And then I don't understand so much of the stuff that she did, or whatever. And it just makes me mad because I'll never know, or I'll never be able to have this discussion with her and call her out on this shit, and never really ask her. And I remember times that she would whine or cry and complain when my father would send us money for our birthday or send something for my grandson that she never got anything from him.
For your son, you mean her grandson?
My son, her grandson. And she would cry and complain that she never got anything from him. And I would say, why? Why are you jealous? Why do you care? I was like, do you still love him? She's like, no. I was like, are you guys still together? Do you have anything to do with each other? All right, then you need to shut up. And now that...
But he did tell me something, though, that was, you know, it made me think and it made me ponder on something, and he told me the story of how they met, whatever. I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Yeah, because...
But he told me, he said, you know, he's like, you know, Deke, you're a man now. He's like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you this straight up because I'm going to be honest with you. He's like, it's only a father could be with their son. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He told me that him and my mother lived together for 2 years before they got married.
Which I never knew because she never talked about. And I always wondered how these two people came together, because obviously you don't marry somebody and have children, 2 children with someone that you don't love or care about or whatever, and I don't know what they promised each other or whatever, and I don't really care because it's already been, 30 years? They married in 85, I was born in 86, Deacon was born in 88. And that was, but he was born in 2007, but he's my kid. And, it just makes you wonder that maybe sometimes you don't know the whole story or you don't understand it or whatever. And I would really love to sit down and have a discussion with my father about it. He didn't talk to me directly about it, but I do have to give him credit that he did come and stay here with us for 3 weeks in July, and it was a comfort knowing that he was here and that he was here for my brother, and he talked to Deacon about stuff about my mom and stuff like that. And I hate to be rambling, but
And the thing is my mother, Jenny Lee, never cared much for my dad, and I know that if the situation had been reversed and he had passed away, she wouldn't have shed a tear for him like he did for her.
Yeah. According to my brother, I wasn't here when this happened because I got crazy busy at work. You'll hear about that some other time. Deacon said to me something very touching and poignant. He sent me a text message saying that he showed our father my mom's ashes and that he cried. He cried for her. Now I'm going to get emotional. He actually cried for her. And I told Deacon, I said, Deacon, let me tell you something. If you think she would have shed a tear for Dad, you're freaking mistaken. She lived to see him die. Like, you don't even understand.
She always said he was going to go before her.
So when he told me this really made me upset and cry and hurt and wonder what the fuck she was doing with her life. And now she needs to put $2 in the Trident jar because that shit ain't cute. So, anyways, okay, we're gonna get off that because I'm a crying mess and we still have a bunch of things to get into. So, guess what time it is?
I don't know, Jack White time?
It's time for my favorite part of the show. Jack White Says. So, I wrote down a couple of notes and things, because, the show ain't scripted, but I just wanted to make sure that we were on point and on fleek today. So, Jack White's side project, the Dead Weather, a band. Now, I'm not really into the Dead Weather with Jack White or whatever, so, boo, I'm gonna sit this one out, okay?
But you're gonna cut right to the chase.
But I'm gonna sit on the sidelines, I'm gonna watch you do your thing or whatever, okay, fine, you did it. Let's go home. Apparently, they have a new album coming out in September called Dodge and Burn. And apparently, there's no signs yet of a tour. Because Jack White did a major tour for the album Lazaretto from May of last year to May of this year. And he was like, I'm done touring. I want to go home to the kids. And to me, so we're glad to have him home. Okay, maybe in my dreams or whatever. But then also something else really cool happened. When he came home, him and Loretta Lynn were honored with a star on the Country Music Walk of Fame in Nashville, which I cannot wait to go and see when we get there. It's like Graceland, the Opry, Sun Records, Third Man Records, and then going and seeing the stars on the Walk of Fame. And before I say anything else about Jack White, can I just tell you a funny story that Deacon sent me while I was at work? By the way, I work at a hotel now.
Okay, I see this. Can I?
Okay, so Deacon, tell him what you sent me. And
okay, so it was funny. Like, everybody who knows me, you could ask my dad, Harley, Buddy, even knows I like the Three Stooges. I love the
Three Stooges too.
Me and Harley are both Three Stooges fans. I absolutely, incredibly adore the Three Stooges. I'm a fan of Curly and Moe. Those are my boys. I like them. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was watching one of the episodes, and it was funny as hell because as I was reading the credits, it said executive produced and directed by Jack White. I was like, whoa!
We're like, he could time travel. By the way, just so you know, that's not the same Jack White that I'm talking about. I believe that Jack White was actually a producer in Hollywood in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't know much about him, but I also know that he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But it was so funny because when he sent me the still picture of it, and you can find it on Deacon's Instagram at DeakRivers1 on Instagram. He tagged me in the photo, and I was like, my bae is a time traveler. It says produced by Jack White, and I was just like, oh, how my favorite things come together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show when we did the Jack White Says, but I'm going to mention it again.
No, you didn't, Sister Harley.
Record Store Day this year was a success at Third Man Records. I believe Jack White re-released one of Elvis's first songs, which is incredible. And can I tell you that while I was preparing for this show, because frankly, I got a whole other page full of notes here. We're going to get to that in a minute. But there's this song on an album that I'm fucking in love with, and you'll hear it. You'll please look it up, buy the record, it's fucking amazing. So there was this, when I first discovered it, I didn't actually think this album was legit or whatever, because, you know, whenever you see compilations or things like that, or the lost tapes or whatever, like the Beatles, it's all like stuff that's already been put out and it's all bullshit or whatever.
Or copyrighted by the Beatles.
Copyrighted or some kind of thing. It's already songs that you heard. However, I discovered that this was actually legit and it exists and it's beautiful and I love it. The name of the album is, okay, hold on, let me bring up Rhapsody so that I know for sure what it's called, but I want to call it The Lost Notebooks of Hank Williams.
It is. That's what it's called.
And I believe that is what it's called. Now, this album has songs that were they were written in full, partially written, or songs that were not yet finished by Hank Williams, and it was in the possession of Rose Music, and I think it's also currently owned by Jet and Bo Cephas. You guys can look that up later. Okay, so the name of the song is You Know That I Know. Like, can I just, like, mic drop right now and just, like, walk out of the room? Because this song is fucking amazing. Like, not only now that I know that it's real and that it exists and that it's a Hank Williams song, can I just say, after listening to Cold Cold Heart and I Saw the Light, I can just hear this man's voice radiating through. Oh my God, he just showed me the picture through this song. And I love it. I cannot stop singing it. Like, it's fucking amazing. Please, please, please go to the website. I think it's hankwilliams.com and buy the record there. And you can also see Jack in a clip talking about his song. And just, oh my God, I love it. I haven't heard the rest of the album because I'm not that brave yet, and I don't like the singers who sing the song. But
I think one of them is his granddaughter.
Is Holly, his granddaughter. So, but I'm not into all those other singers. So I only heard the one that Jack sings. But I love that song, and I've also seen videos of Jack singing Tennessee Border, and I think there was another one or something that I know that he sings. But I haven't been able to find the video of it, but oh my God, the song is amazing. Like, I play it for everyone. I'm going to get everyone on Jack White's Crazy Train. Like, you don't even know. Okay, and the last thing I have on the Jack White Says is Jack and Weird Al had coffee at Bob's Big Boy. This was, like, back in May, or, like, no, earlier than that, maybe March or April, and I just want to know what Weird Al is going to parody of Jack White, because I'm so in.
That would actually be funny, though. I would really love to hear that.
I'm in. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to D, because I've probably rambled on enough. Jump in and say something before.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You know, for those of you all again who are out there and are teenage fans of ours, or you know, if you're just fans in general, it doesn't matter. You know that Hurley likes Jack White, and I happen to be a fan of the girl group Fifth Harmony. I think they're absolutely marvelous. especially Lauren. Let me just quote John Denver here for a second. Baby, you look good to me tonight. I'm just saying. Anyway, to make a long story short, they're fitting to be at the Teen Choice Awards. I'm fitting to watch this shit only for them. Fuck everyone else. In the words of Degeneration X, everyone else could suck it.
You can just call me or send me a photo when they come on, because I'm done with the Teen Choice Awards. I'm done with the MTV Awards. I'm done with all the awards. And, I'm just like, whatever. Now, I also want to say something else before we jump into The View and the Grand Ole Opry, because we're going to come for them in a second. In November, I think November 27th, I want to say that's Thanksgiving, but I don't. Let me check my calendar.
Oh, looks like she ain't doing shit. I'm just kidding.
It looks like me ain't doing. Well, we're gonna be doing something actually. Let me check the calendar. Okay, the 27th is the Friday of Thanksgiving, so that would be Black Friday. So I guess we're not gonna be Black Friday shopping, because let me tell you what we're gonna be doing. I believe so far the date for the movie release is November 27th.
Yes.
The name of the movie is called I Saw the Light. Tom Hiddleston is playing Hank Williams Sr. And me, Deacon, and Buddy Cakes are totally going to be at the theater. We'll probably buy advance day tickets. We might smuggle in Thanksgiving dinner. We don't know yet. We'll see how we're feeling on the day. We're just saying.
If we're even up to celebrating Thanksgiving this year, because in light of everything that's going on, I just feel like, fuck it, I'm not even going to celebrate it this year.
I'm celebrating Thanksgiving with or without you, because Thanksgiving's fun, and so is Christmas. We're just going to go all out this year.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so let me talk really quickly about this movie, and then we're gonna finish off the rest of the notes, and we're gonna sign off. So this movie, first off, is. Can I just say to Tom Hiddleston, me and Deacon, we're giving you the side eye right now. We are watching you.
Yeah.
Because we have a high standard that we set y'all up for. Like, if it's going to be like Walk the Line, when we walked into the theater not knowing anything about Johnny Cash.
But let me just say this, when I saw Walk the Line, I did not see Joaquin Phoenix on that screen. I saw Johnny Cash.
Exactly. We did not see Joaquin Phoenix. We saw Johnny Cash and June Carter, and it was a beautiful movie, and it was so well done. I listen to the soundtrack every day.
So do I.
Can I just say something, though, about the soundtrack? And anyone who's a Johnny Cash fan and listens to the soundtrack...
And by the way, some of the songs that were in the movie didn't even make the cut of the soundtrack. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, so if you're a fan of Johnny Cash and his music, the one thing that pisses me off about the movie version of The Ring of Fire is there's no Mexican trumpets playing in the background.
Yeah, and everybody
knows.
knows.
Who the fuck? Like, what the fuck was that all about?
And everybody knows that he had the trumpets in the song.
Yeah, like Ring of Fire is like the Mexican trumpets. I'm just saying, Ring of Fire. Come on now, come the fuck on. Okay, so back to what we were saying and doing. We're watching you, Hiddleston. We are gonna be all over you.
And I will give you my review live on this podcast, whether I like it or not. So it better be good.
We're gonna be watching you. That you're British and you're representing one of our own, because we're gonna come for you. If we don't like it, we don't see it, and be like, fuck no, send this boy back to the UK. We're just saying. However, some of the first pictures of the movie came out, and so far the makeup looks pretty good. I think Tom Hiddleston's around like 31, 32.
But here's my question though: what happened to Brad Paisley? Because I had been hearing for a while, since long before they made this movie, that Brad Paisley was going to play Hank. Anyway,
I don't know, but I'm just saying the makeup already looks good. I saw pictures earlier on Facebook. And can I just say to everyone, Hank Williams was 29 years old when he died, but if you look at the pictures from 52 to 53, when he died, he looked like he was about 49 or 50. And I mean, the makeup on Tom in the picture that I saw looks fucking badass. I'm just saying. So, before we get into the Grand Ole Opry and we talk more about Hank Williams, let me go off on The View.
Here we go. Clear
What
schedule.
the hell is up with The View? Can I just say to you, Deacon? First off,
I don't watch The View, but go ahead.
have a goddamn seat, please, Raven. This ain't your part of the show. We'll get to you in a minute. And, okay, I've been saying for the past, since I've been watching it, that I love Rosie Perez and Nicole Wallace. And I'm sad that they're leaving this season and over stupid things because Nicole isn't, a pop culture thing and she doesn't, know who the Kardashians are. But face it, the ones of us that do know, I mean, come on, there's something special about the Kardashians anyways. Secondly, I kind of agree with Rosie Perez and Kelly. When they had that little argument on air this week regarding comments that Kelly Osbourne made about Donald Trump, which is the same exact thing I just said earlier. Kelly Osbourne's like, if you hate these people so much, who's going to clean your toilet? Who's going to clean your house?
Exactly.
Which is true. I mean, when white people clean their own hotel rooms or whatever, let's just...
White people, you don't even mow your all's lawns.
I'm just saying. So, I don't know. And another thing. Okay, what the hell? Why are they asking Sherri Shepherd back as a roving commentator? See, once I'm fired from a job, I don't stay around. And if they call me back, I'd be like, psh, I know you ain't finna talk to me like that, because I'm just like, whatever. So apparently she's going to be a roving commentator along with 3 other people, I don't know. And then they're bringing Candace Cameron Bure in. Can we just, oh my god.
Can I take this one?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Deacon.
Let me just say this. First of all, I want to say something to Candace Cameron because I have her as a friend on Instagram and Facebook. And let me just say this. Just because I choose to live my life openly and freely and say how I feel does not give you the right to judge me. Okay, number 2. Let me say this shit. Fuck you, bitch, because you ain't all freaking that. And now you're using your husband's name? What the fuck is that shit? With your you know what? I'm done. Harley, you take it. I'm done.
I'm just like, I don't like Candace Cameron Bure, and I don't like.
And by the way, I don't even know why you're even gonna be in the new Fuller House freaking spinoff. I know that the only one that they really want to see is John Stamos.
I'm just like, look, why are you relevant? Why is your brother relevant? All you Duggar ass kisses can just suck it because there's more to, okay, yeah, you can believe in faith and God and live your life that way, but seriously, me and Deacon, we were raised Catholic or whatever, and yeah, the Bible says this, that, and the other, but it's supposed to be guidelines. Why are you gonna let a fictional character guide your life like that? I mean, and I say fictional very loosely because I feel like people are...
Well, okay, in defense of that, I'm also gonna comment something that's also in the Bible that I'm kind of offended at, and I just talked about this earlier. Again, I'm not calling anyone out. I love every single one of y'all listening. I'm not trying to be offensive, and I'm not trying to be racist. And what I'm gonna say, I hope it does not offend anybody, especially the gay people that I'm fitting to mention. So I've never been one to apologize for anything I said, and I don't intend on starting now.
And
okay.
Let me just say that me and Deacon have a strict no apologies guideline that we work by. We don't give a shit who we piss off. If we piss someone off, then at least we got your attention and you're listening.
Let me say this. Okay, so let me say this pertaining to the Bible. The Bible also says that God hates gay people, and it's even written in the Bible that while men laid with other men, he burned down the village. What the fuck kind of dumb shit's that?
It also says that if a woman is not a virgin, that she's got to be taken back to her father's house and stoned in front of everyone. It also says you shouldn't sleep with animals, to beat your children.
You see, Brie Bella, I told you!
And it also says that you can have more than one wife. So, sit down with your Bible. Alright, so, we're almost done here. We got one last thing to talk about. Do you know what we're going to talk about now, Deacon?
The Grand Ole Opry?
Oh, the Grand Ole Opry.
And it's not so grand anymore.
Can we just say it's not so grand? Now, the only reason we're talking about the Grand Ole Opry is because we are moving to Nashville. Hopefully this time next year we should already be settled into our house and everything like that.
Doing our show and coming live from the
Doing
house.
our show, coming live, hopefully, making it all happen, our dreams come true or whatever as far as the show goes or whatever. But in light of that, something came to our attention, and it's probably been at my attention, except I never really fully looked into it until now.
Okay, I'm going to take this one once again.
Go ahead, Deacon, and then
As a lot of people may know, that the man that we just mentioned, Hank Williams. Senior, yes, was fired. I think it was about 52 years ago.
1952.
In 52 for being drunk or whatever. I'm not sure full details. All I know is this. Harley take it.
Okay, so supposedly he got fired from the Grand Ole Opry for missing a couple of shows and for being drunk on stage. So,
clear your schedule, we'll be here a while.
Let me just start by saying the Grand Ole Opry's full of shit because, as I wrote so lovingly in my notes, let me get back to it. They are crazy hypocrites. The Mother Church of Country can kiss my fucking ass. I'm sick and tired of them saying, oh, this is this and that is that or whatever, because it's full of shit. Now, here's what we're talking about. And I wrote notes. I went into full detail on these notes because I think it needs to be addressed and mentioned before you say anything to me about it. This is what I've concluded. The Grand Ole Opry is full of shit. Case in point, we're talking about Hank Williams, who was fired from the Opry because he was drunk and missed a few shows, as I said. Now, I don't pretend to take this stuff seriously. However, I hear that the Opry is a big deal to country folks, and since we're going to Nashville, hopefully by next year, I thought we figured that why not learn about the Opry and here are some fun facts before you go on the rant.
And of course, as a lot of people, I would one day maybe like to be a member of the Opry, but not without Hank.
We'll discuss that in a second, but here's a fun fact that many people probably don't know, and we're going to be the first ones to say it. In October of 1954, Elvis made his one and only appearance on the Grand Ole Opry singing rock and roll. The Opry manager, Jim Denny, oh yeah, we mentioned your name, how are you? Told Elvis to return to Memphis and don't quit his day job, go back to being a truck driver, and Elvis never returned. So, that's the first fun fact. Now...
And again, to quote George Lopez, fuck that buto.
Okay, now here's the rant. The dudes at the Opry... who does the dudes at the Opry think they were by firing Hank? Nobody was a saint, and we're not saying that he was a saint. In fact, the truth is probably stranger than fiction. However, if they want to come for him, then me and Deacon and Buddy are going to do our best to defend Hank, Senior, Junior, and the third, who we're going to start calling Brother Trey, as if our lives depended on it. So, if I could for a brief moment quote Hank 3, who says the Grand Ole Opry ain't so grand anymore. They didn't want Bo Cephas for being loud and Johnny Cash and so on and so forth. Y'all can go download the album. It's called Damn Right Rebel Proud, I think.
Yeah.
That's the name of the album. Go download it. Go buy it. Whatever. Okay, so Hank still isn't reinstated. And I did some research on the Opry members, starting from the elders, and people who are on my shit list. And frankly, if the Mother Church wants to throw stones, well, let's throw stones and be in your glass house. So, of course, you know about Hank. We're not going to go into there. So, I decided to go in on the Carter family. So, the Carter family is Mother Maybelle, Father Ezra, their daughters, June, Helen, and Anita. Let's start with June. June was Hank Williams Jr.'s godmother. Lord knows she was no saint. For starters, She had a 12-year affair with Johnny Cash. Like,
while they were both married to other people.
Both married to other people. Seriously, she made records with him. You know, like, she was married 3 times. Once to, I think, a stock car driver, and then the other one, and then to Johnny Cash. As I said, she was having an affair with him for 12 years before they got married. She has 3 kids by 3 different babies' daddies. I know, gangster. I gotta get a drink of water. Hold on, sippy, sippy.
Give her a minute while she adjusts her vocal technicians.
Okay, so she apparently was friends with Hank and Audrey Williams, and legend has it that she was apparently caught between a fight between the 2 of them, and the same legend has it that she didn't like Hank Sr., whatever, I don't know what that's about, but P.S. on a side note, June Carter also wrote Ring of Fire about their affair. So, let's see what else I have in these notes. Okay. So let's go on with the list of other interesting people from the Grand Ole Opry. George Jones, a notorious wife-beater, married to Tammy Wynette, who you'll hear about later. Roy Acuff, wife-beater, also a drinker. Suck that. Glenn Campbell, don't even get me started on Glenn Campbell. Willie Nelson has been so high at the Grand Ole Opry. Seriously, he was like so high, he was actually looking down from heaven, like from the sky. Like, oh my God, I can see the Opry from here. Like, I know that was a bad joke. Chris Christopherson. I don't even know if he can write a song anymore. But
he can't fucking write a song anyway. I've heard a lot of the songs that he wrote, they all fucking suck. He had to give them to Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis just to make them #1 hits. I'm just saying.
And Janice, like me and Bobby McGee, shit, I'd take my hat off to that.
He had to give them to other people just to make their songs hits because he can't fucking write a hit for himself.
Oh, and the Grand Ole Opry doesn't have any black members, yet a black man was one of the founders of the Grand Ole Opry. Let's talk about that. Tracy Atkins he's not an elder, but he's somewhat, I guess, new. I don't know who he is. But he's a notorious wife beater and drunk. And of course, there's Johnny Cash. We already mentioned June, his wife. Let's put him in here. No disrespect, because we love Johnny Cash. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I have him on my freaking phone right now. I'm playing the music.
I have him on my phone right now. I'm playing the music or whatever. But seriously, he was also drunk and stoned at the Grand Ole Opry. And let's just.
And he set the stage on fire.
And let me just say something else. I'm pretty darn sure the only reason he's in the Grand Ole Opry is because they were trying to appease June Carter. I'm just saying. And now for the girls. There are no saintly girls in country music either. Tammy Wynette was a notorious drinker and pill popper. Dottie West, she was a drinker. Kitty Wells, she was a pill popper and a drinker too. So my case is this. Now, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So, if all of the above people I mentioned can still be members of the Grand Ole Opry and their families can be members of the Grand Ole Opry, then I think that's pretty much reason enough to reinstate Hank. And if not, then maybe you need to reevaluate your life and fire all of these people. And if you don't, well then let me just say, hold on, I wrote down the notes. All of these people need to be fired on the same grounds, or y'all need to shut the hell up and put Hank back into the Grand Ole Opry. And if you don't, give his family back his things. Don't put up his pictures. Don't sell his merchandise. Shut the hell up and sit in your goddamn corner. I am done. And Deacon will join me in our catchphrase. We're just saying, right?
Yep, we're just saying.
Well, I think...
Too bad, so sad. We hope it doesn't make you mad.
It's about that time again. Wow, this was the longest podcast we've ever done, Deacon. We're coming in. We are just 20 seconds short of the 40-minute mark. I think that marks a new record.
That's got to be a new record. Well, anyway,
So-
let me start by saying goodbye. I just want to say goodbye to everyone. Again, I love every single one of you. And there ain't a damn thing you all can do about it. Anyway, and I just want to say, I want to leave you with this little bit of sunshine that I'm going to say. This is from the Macho Man Randy Savage and Dusty Rhodes. I've started with Eagles and slithered with the Snakes. I've been everywhere in between. And I've wined and dined with kings and queens, slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. And I just
like
want to say
that.
goodbye to all of you. We love you and have a safe summer. And for all you kids listening, get back to school safely.
And as for me, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone and all the news media for giving us such wonderful things that we got to rant and rave on today. Thanks to the Grand Ole Opry for just existing. Thank you to June Carter, Johnny Cash, all the people that we mentioned, because we still love your music, but we think y'all are full of shit. And if I can quote Hank Williams, who we mentioned a lot tonight on our show, may you rest in peace. We hope that heaven is as much fun as it was on earth. But I believe in some of his records he says, if God's willing and the creeks don't rise, we will be back to you again before long. So this is Harley Quinn, the Holla Back Girl, and
The Adder Mad Hatter Deke Rivers.
we are saying goodbye, we love you, and we will see you next week.
And may the good Lord take a liking to you.